Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be addressing a breaking news for Arthur Melo, and we are also going to be talking about De Jong's recent injury news. These are very important topics to talk about right now, and we are going to talk about it today in this video. And so we are first going to talk about Arthur Melo, and according to Republica, they have stated that Juventus and Barcelona have agreed to a swap deal involving Arthur and Pjanic this summer, and Bleacher Report has also stated this. And the reason why I do want to talk about this in this video is because I did get questioned a lot about this swap deal and if this report was actually true. So that is why I'm going to be addressing this in today's video. And so look, the first thing that I do want you guys to know is that Juventus are going to continue to press for Arthur Melo. We know that Juventus do not want to give up on this player, and we are going to be seeing reports like this come out throughout this whole summer. And so the club do believe that a deal can be struck, and as for FC Barcelona, they do believe that on a sporting level this swap deal does make sense. And to be honest, we know that most of us can agree that this swap deal makes absolutely no sense for the club of FC Barcelona. We know that Arthur Melo is a lot younger than Pjanic. It would make no sense to bring in another 31-year-old into our club. Also, Arthur Melo is more of a dynamic player. He can play multiple positions. Arthur Melo actually has more technique in his play, and the only reason why Barcelona do want to bring in Pjanic is because he has the experience and he has played top level football longer than Arthur Melo, which is a horrible indicator on who can succeed at FC Barcelona. So I believe that because of how weak the reasons are for FC Barcelona to bring in Pjanic and let go of Arthur Melo, I really do believe that there could be more than just looking at this from a sporting level. I actually do believe that Barcelona can be looking at this from a financial level, but Barcelona right now are currently interested in gaining whatever cash they could this summer. So don't be surprised if Barcelona do end up profiting around 15 to 20 million euros if this swap deal does end up being completed. And so we do have another report coming from Diario Ole, and he explained that Arthur and his entourage say he wants to stay at Barcelona, but the offer is 5 million for 5 years, and Arthur will have a starting role at Juventus. Arthur will now think about it. The hours are decisive ahead. And the reason why I wanted to bring that other report on is because this report did come out about 6 to 7 hours before Republica did make this huge statement on the swap deal being completed. And the main reason why I brought that report up is because it is simply Republica do want to capitalize off of whatever story is coming out between Arthur Melo and Pjanic. At the end of the day, these are news outlets. They do want to get your attention. They want to bring in viewers. They are paid to do this, and that is why we are seeing a report come out of a swap deal being completed between Barcelona and Juventus. And we also know that there is no reliable sources actually confirming or backing this up on this swap deal being completed. So we cannot safely say that this swap deal is completely done. And honestly, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Regardless of how good Juventus bring in that offer for Arthur Melo does not care. He does not care if he is going to get paid 5 million euros every season. Arthur Melo is a player that believes that it is much better to be at a team like FC Barcelona, where he knows that he's going to win more trophies than at Juventus. He knows that there is a brighter future at FC Barcelona, and he knows that there are better mentors at FC Barcelona. They may not be in the club now, but he knows where Barcelona is going to be at the future, and he knows where he can be in 5 to 6 years with FC Barcelona. And that is why Arthur Melo is having a strong stance at staying at this club, and I highly respect that. And I do want to bring up another report, but this time this is the Juventus director talking about the swap deal of Pjanic and Arthur Melo, and this is what we had to say because I believe that what he said here is very interesting and could greatly help back this up on this swap deal actually never being completed. And so this is what he said: "We speak to Barcelona frequently, but all teams are playing important games. It's not about before or after June 30th. It's about finding an agreement for both parties, and both players have to be convinced." And so with him stating this, saying that the players have to be convinced on this swap deal, and knowing that Arthur Melo does want to stay at FC Barcelona, this swap deal will never happen. The director of Juventus has clearly stated that no matter how good the agreements are between the club of Juventus and FC Barcelona, if the player does not want to leave, this swap deal will never happen. And we also have another report coming from Marcelo Bachelor saying that Arthur just thinks about staying at Barcelona. It is very clear every day that he will only leave if Barcelona categorically say they do not want him and they want to do financial interest interesting business. Arthur continues his stance without hearing and without interest in Juventus' proposal. And Arthur has stated that he does see himself in a Barcelona shirt. And the one thing that I do want to point out is this, right? It is so embarrassing to see a player like Arthur Melo, and knowing how good he is, actually have to go up into public and say that he will not leave this club. Why doesn't Barcelona go out into the public and have someone from the board say that Arthur Melo is not for sale and that Arthur Melo is a player that will stay at FC Barcelona for a very long time? Look at what Inter Milan is doing with Lautaro Martinez. And I'm going to give you guys the words of exactly what this CEO said. He said he has immense quality and many teams would love to negotiate with us for him. Inter have no intentions of selling our best player, so if a player does not express the desire to leave, then we'll hold on tight. Lautaro is flattered by the attention of big clubs, but he has never expressed the desire to leave. Never. I am very optimistic that we'll see him playing for us again next season. And those are the type of words that I do want to see come out from the FC Barcelona club when it comes to Arthur Melo. Barcelona do need to protect this player, but it seems like they don't want to. Barcelona has not said a single word about this operation out into the public, and I believe that the main reason why they're being so silent and why they don't want to protect Arthur Melo is because that letting go of Arthur Melo will not affect them, and they actually do believe that Pjanic would be a great deal for FC Barcelona. And again, I believe that is why Barcelona is so silent. They're on the side of agreeing on the swap deal of Arthur Melo and Pjanic, and so that is where we're at today. Barcelona agree on the swap deal. Juventus also agree on this swap deal. Pjanic does want to go to FC Barcelona, but Arthur Melo is that man that is stopping all of these negotiations and stopping this swap deal from happening. And so if I could tell Arthur Melo one thing, I would say keep doing what you're doing, continue to say no to every offer that Juventus say, and continue to stand strong on your stance with FC Barcelona, because apparently the people who are in charge of this club do not want to protect you. And again, Arthur Melo will be a Barcelona player because he is a man who does see himself in a Barcelona shirt. And so we are going to continue to see multiple reports saying that the swap deal is completed or the swap deal is almost completed, but just know this: Arthur Melo will not leave this summer because that is his decision, not the club's decision. And if any other report or rumor do come in this way in the media, we will be addressing that here in this channel. And so now going on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about De Jong. We do have some updates about his injury, and this is what eSports had to say. De Jong wants to go to Holland to recover due to the bad initial diagnosis of his injury from Barcelona's medical team. From mid-season, players feel there are unprecise diagnoses, poorly planned recoveries, and relapses when they were about to reappear. They continue to say, sources from the club say that some players go for free and prefer to recover outside the club because of a lack of confidence in the medical services. And so the reason why this is such a big deal, right, is because there was a report that came out 3 days ago before the Sevilla game did take place. They have stated, multiple outlets have stated that De Jong did have a muscle injury and he will not participate in the match against Sevilla, and that he was originally supposed to come back in time for the game against Bilbao, but that hasn't been the case because 24 to 48 hours later, they have stated that De Jong will be missing the game against Bilbao and potentially maybe even Celta Vigo and Atletico Madrid. And so the reason why this is frustrating so many people in FC Barcelona is because the medical team is simply not doing their job. This happened because of two reasons. It could be either of these two. It could be because the medical team misread this injury. They thought that it was only going to last 24 hours, but it actually ended up being 1 month. The other option could have been that the injury got worse. Maybe De Jong was trying to train his muscle and trying to make that muscle even better to recover from that injury, but the medical team did not express the right exercises or the right routines that De Jong was supposed to make. But at the end of the day, these two options are going to rely on the responsibility of the medical team. Whatever is happening to De Jong right now, it is because of the medical team, and that is why we are seeing De Jong potentially leaving the Barcelona's medical team and go straight to Holland. And this raises so many questions because I believe that this is bigger than just De Jong being injured for 1 month. I believe that because we are seeing De Jong reoccur another injury, maybe Dembélé was never a injury prone. Maybe Umtiti was never a injury prone. If we look at the history of Dembélé and Umtiti, both of those players were never injury prone before they arrived at FC Barcelona. And now that they are at FC Barcelona, they have been having multiple multiple injuries, and even surprisingly, along with Arthur Melo. Arthur Melo has been another player who has been having injuries day in, day out, and now seeing De Jong fall into this category, this is a discussion that has to be taken seriously between the medical department and the board. They are not doing their job. We are seeing way too many players getting injured way too frequently. We have had multiple missed dates saying that they were supposed to come back in this day, but then they had a relapse and now they're going to come back at a later date. There is so much miscommunication going on between the medical team and the players that I believe that the main reason why Barcelona has been so unsuccessful fitness-wise and on the pitch is because part of the blame should be on the medical team. And so De Jong is looking at this and saying, look, there is no way I'm going to stay at this medical team for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to go to Holland. I have seen what happened to Umtiti and Dembele and Arthur and even Jordi Alba. I'm going to have to take care of this myself and go to the medical team that I do trust the most. So as we go deeper into the season, the more we're starting to see that the medical team do have a huge part on why these players are not performing at the way that they are supposed to. We even have Xavi, who expressed 8 to 9 months ago, he did say that he was going to change multiple things. He was going to change the sports department. He was going to bring in Carlos Puyol, his brother, Jordi Cruyff. And one of the last things that he did point out was that he wanted to remodel the club's medical services. And so Xavi was another man who did see this inside the club. And so something needs to change. Something has to change within the medical department. So as of now, we don't know the exact time on how long De Jong is going to be out on the sidelines. But as of now, all we know is that De Jong will be out for several weeks. And we will be following up on De Jong's injury as we progress through this season. And I'm honestly pretty upset that we do have to question the sporting project decisions of FC Barcelona. We also have to question the medical department. We also have to question the club's business related decisions that they are making, and most specifically the transfer deals. And I also do want to bring up the squad list. If we look at the squad list that's going to be facing against Athletic Club, we can see that De Jong and Sergio Roberto, which is expected, they are not going to be here in the squad list as they are injured. And we do see 3 new faces at the bottom right of this squad list. We see Morer, we see Monchu, and Cuenca. And because we are not going to have De Jong in the squad list, I really do expect a midfield of Busquets, Vidal, and Rakitic go up against Athletic Club. And I'm not saying this because this is my choice of having a midfield of those 3 players. I'm saying this because of what Setien has said in his recent press conference. And this is what he had to say. I'm not concerned with the average age in our squad. I'm concerned with what we do on the pitch. Ideally, the older you are, the better you think and the better you play. So based off what I'm hearing from Setien in his most recent press conference, I really do think that we are going to see Busquets, Vidal, and Rakitic. And do I agree with the philosophy of Setien, of him saying that the older you are, the better you're going to think and the better that you're going to play? No, absolutely not. That is completely ludicrous. I don't know where Setien is getting this from, but there has to be a change within Setien's decision making when picking the lineup. And so that is where we're at today. That is the short pre-match preview. I did want to add that in this video. I hope you guys do like this video. That will be it for today's Barcelona daily news and the pre-match preview. I will be making a post-match review for the match against Barcelona and Athletic Club, and we will be discussing the problems that Barcelona had or the good things that Barcelona did come up with on the pitch. And so we will be discussing all of that here in this channel. So if you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.